Hi, class. Now that you understand the basics of public speaking, I want to cover with you the assessment sheet that I'm going to be using to grade every speech during this semester. So here we have your shell, the home page of the course, and we're going to go to Files right over here on the left-hand side. And underneath Files, you're going to see a file uploaded that is labeled Speech Assessment. So we're going to select that, and we'll take a look at it now. So you'll see here that at the top of the assessment, there's a place for your name, a place for the topic or type of speech, as well as a place for me to record your time from when you start speaking until you are finished speaking. And then you'll see that there are a series of categories below, and I'll cover those here momentarily, but that each of these categories is worth up to 5 points. If you receive a 5 in a category, that means you did outstanding, 4 above average, 3 average, 2 below average, 1 poor, and if you receive NA for non-applicable, that means that you just didn't do that particular part of the speech. So let's look at each of the different categories now. The first category here, opening with impact, that means that you have an effective hook or an effective attention getter, as was covered in the basics of public speaking. Next, clear thesis. Do you present your topic clearly in that one clear sentence? Do we know what it is that the speech is about? The next category here, clear preview. Do you give us that clear roadmap of the points to come, the 3 main points of the body, before going into the body of the speech? The next category, clear main points. As you go through and you develop the main points of your body, are you giving us the subpoints for each main point and building out the analysis and understanding for your audience? Next, effective use of visual presentation aids. You will have presentational aids that you actually create for some of your speeches. However, this is where I will also give points for your professional dress. And so the very first speech that you're going to be giving, for example, the extemporaneous speech, you will not be creating a presentational aid for that speech per se, but you will be dressing the part business professional, and I will note your points on that here. The next category, effective language use and vocal delivery, I'll be looking at 3 main areas here of your actual vocal presentation. Do you have good volume? I want to make sure that you're not too loud or too soft. I will be looking and listening for the tone of your speech. And in terms of the tone, that has to do with things such as the pitch of your voice. Is it too high? Is it too low? Do you vary the pitch, or are you monotone like a robot and sound like this? And then the last one here, the rate, has to do with your speaking speed. Do you speak too fast or too slow? Next, maintaining eye contact. I'll be looking for that eye contact. And a note on this, eye contact, particularly when you're dealing with recording speech, remember that your camera is a focal point. So you need to make sure and treat your camera just like you would an audience member. The next category here, natural gesture and posture. When it comes to your gesturing, I want to make sure that holding your speaker cards, you only hold those in one hand, and I demonstrate that for you in the sample speech that's posted. So you hold the cards in one hand, and that allows your free hand, your other hand, to gesture naturally and to use your hand naturally for emphasis as you speak. And in terms of posture, which I also demonstrate in the video, you want a nice straight posture. You want to be standing feet shoulder width apart and be standing confidently for your audience. The next category here, summarize main points. Once you finish the body of the speech, do you give us a summary of the 3 points that you went over in the body? And then lastly, concluding with impact, do you make sure that you take that hook, loop it back around, and give us a strong conclusion? So you will note here that there are 10 different categories, each worth up to 5 points apiece, and that's going to give you up to 50 points. You'll also notice that there's a place here for verbal filler. I will be counting any time in a speech that you say like, any of those verbal filler words that we put into speech that technically don't belong. And then once I've completely graded the speech, I will put your speech total here. And every time that you give a speech in class, I will submit this back to you in electronic form so you have a copy of your finished assessment sheet. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.